Fans, you guys crack me up. Through the NFL Saturday, I was just Conor McGregor's fighting the best fighter in the world because he's one of the greatest fighters. And when Conor wins, don't forget to make the post-fight video and tell him he's the great. Oh, I heard all that nonsense y'all was talking. Do you really think there will be a winning post-fight interview for Conor McGregor? Knock out Khabib? You think Conor McGregor is going to knock out Khabib? Conor McGregor has a snowball chance in hell of beating Khabib. Okay? A snowball chance in hell. I don't care if Dana White jumps in the octagon and holds Khabib's legs. Conor McGregor still will lose. Dana's going to be, I got him! Conor, I got him! I got his ankles! I'm grabbing his ankles! Start throwing punches! Make sure you got a good hold of him, Dana! He's still swinging his arms! Can you grab one of his arms? I'm still trying to kick him in the legs! He won't fall, Dana! Hold tight! It's not gonna matter! It's not going to matter. Conor McGregor is going to get pummeled. He's going to try to fight the good fight, and he's going to make an excuse when he loses. That's what he does. Hey, what's up, twins? Conor McGregor, his whole theme is, let me put on a good face. That's all he wants to do is put on a good face. So he can be standing up there at the end of it, already with his excuse. Hey, I've been off 2.5 years. This is his third fight in a year. I've been off 2.5 years. This guy's supposed to mop the floor with me. But I'm still here. I'm still strong. I'm going to fight him again. Watch, you're going to hear that. Watch how you hear the excuses come flowing out of Conor McGregor as soon as he loses. Because he know people are stupid. The people that watch UFC fights, the majority, 99.9% of them are stupid. So the people that watches it are not going to care anywhere. As long as he's yelling and screaming, they're going to be just cheering, all right, Conor! So they know that they got those people's money. And Conor McGregor is known for quitting. So if you bet this fight, bet that he's gonna quit. He's known to quit, and he quits in fights. Period. That's what he do. He quits in fights. I'm not making it up. This just happens to be the truth. They're like, what you know about Conor McGregor? He quits. That's about all I know about him. Any fight that he's tough, and that's the thing. He's supposed to be Irish, right? McGregor, right? I don't know. Maybe he got a little Swiss in him or something. Because that dude quits all the time, and the Irish people are not known for quitting. They'll be passed out before they quit. But this guy, if he gets any little slight of trouble, he quits. What if Conor wins? What, like Khabib just hurt himself in the ring? Or, you know, the Conor McGregor team lock him in his locker room? Or do an NWO attack before the match? He didn't show up! Ring the bell! I win! That might be what Dana do. To protect his 6-fight investment. Conor is gonna get destroyed, and the reason why is because he's fighting a guy who's very good at wrestling. The UFC know what they have in front of them, and that's one thing about the UFC that they do. They know what they have in front of them. Like, they knew CM Punk couldn't fight, so they said, well, let's try to make him look like a fighter and sell this story and his comeback, and let's see what's gonna happen and keep him on this road. And they kept putting him in the ring with guys who were supposed to be easy fights for him, but these guys are fighters. CM Punk is no fighter. You just can't. I'm just gonna go to the UFC, and you've never been in a fight. A wrestling ring is not the same as fighting. They figured, well, we did it with Brock. We can make CM Punk a star. Nah, you just made yourself look like an idiot. I mean, Mickey Gall will never make it. Mickey Gall's a tough fighter. He's been in fights. I mean, he didn't win them, but he didn't look at that bad in fights. He's just not A-list competition, so you knew he wasn't going to win that. And then you got Conor McGregor. They know Conor McGregor can't handle a wrestler. Anybody gets Conor on the ground in a wrestling match, there's a problem. So they put him in with not really strong wrestlers. Some guys might have some wrestling, but they're not really strong at wrestling. Here, there's no doubt. You're fighting the man. And he loves to wrestle. So guess what he's gonna do? Guess what he's gonna do to Conor? He's gonna drop elbows on his face, his head, everywhere. He's gonna try to break his nose and drive his nose bone into his brain with elbows and pound him while he's on the ground. See, Russian martial arts is basically bare wrestling. Death grip hands, strong wrists, inside locks. Over there, they wrestled a lot with the gi. In the UFC, they removed the gis. So to them, it's a learning process of how to do the wrestling without the gis. The gis is, they perfect, and even in tournament style, you wear your gi because the gi is used as different ways of attack strategy too. You can choke somebody out with their own gi. You can get body control, inside locks or outside locks. You know, so Khabib can take you down by the leg. He can grab you around the waist, and then it's like an anaconda. He's very strong with his hands. Guys, like, you might not, he's a guy that's like Gracie. They're slow workers. They'll get you in there and slow work you to death. But unlike those guys, he also likes to hit people. Once they in his grasp, drop blows and forearms and everything. He's got heavy hands, like most Russian wrestlers. They are very heavy-handed. And you look at Conor, who's going to be nice and fatigued after 2 rounds of running around. Then all that beer and all that stuff's going to start kicking in. All that beer, all that getting fat, all that. And unlike the Diaz fight, you ain't going to be able to get away from Khabib. That Russian bear is going to pull you to the ground and pound you. And I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. Oh, you can want it, Carl Artley. But when he lose, I want to see you right here. I want Sanaa Lathan in my bed butt naked with about $2 billion laying right next to her. But what I want and what's going to actually happen are 2 different things. Well, it's a beautiful dream. Oh, Ronaldo, welcome to America. Welcome to America. Now he's an athlete. You've been accused of rape. Oh, you an athlete now. What happened to Zuffa boxing? Floyd Mayweather happened to Zuffa boxing. When Floyd was cracking that jaw, crack, 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 and he was flopping around like a fish, that's what happened in Zuffa boxing. Conor wasn't going back in the ring. All that. Help me! I'm standing right here. I've got my hands out. I'm ready. Look at me. I'm still strong. Then he go in the back and start crying. That black guy hurt me. He hurt. Every time he landed it, I thought I saw it coming. And I said, the little guy can hurt me. Then my stomach hurt. He kept hitting me in the stomach with that thing, and I didn't think it would hurt. He's an idiot that found a rapper that had just luckily he came up with an idea that was already in play. He just made some changes. What if I make a couple of changes and make it more like boxing? From that point on, he did not grow the sport at all. Guys like Chuck Liddell built the Dana White era of UFC. Yes. I like that because I'm the one that came up with the word rehydration clause. I should have copywritten it because everybody.
Who says you can't drive?
Now here's the bigger question. Since Conor got, like I told you, I said I came up with the phrase. You gotta listen, Frank. Nobody said rehydration clause before me. the word hydration clause. It wouldn't be a rehydration clause. So when I said, so because I named it the hydration clause, the rehydration clause, everybody just took it and ran. It became, it was coming out. That's why Oscar De La Hoya could not come in on the day of the fight past a certain weight. When he fought Manny Pacquiao, that was agreed. That was one of the guidelines, so Oscar wouldn't balloon up in weight. So we always say rehydrate. So they say it was a clause in there for rehydration clause. And that's why anybody would come out and say, well, that's wrong. Their rehydration clause, it doesn't make sense. But I came up with the proper terminology, it's just a weight clause, not a rehydration clause. He quit Zuffa boxing, which made Dana White quit. Well, if you don't want to do Zuffa, well, I go where Conor goes. So, well, we might come back, but right now, it's all about the UFC and Conor. The reigning, defending UFC never defending champion of the world. The guy has never defended a title in the UFC. Never. Never. He's never defended the title once in the UFC's history. That's why I'll be like, why is he coming out here? Why is he even coming out here with belts? I'll be like, what does it matter? Two-time, what is he wearing his belts for? He's not a champion. So why is he out here with a belt? You chose to get stripped. So you chose to strip like a hoe. Then use the belts. And he's gonna quit. As soon as the thing gets hot, he quits. That's why I don't know why I heard him already. Because this guy quits. Everything he's been in, he quit it. Today, he was gonna start yoga today, but he quit. Wasn't he supposed to be doing cardio practice today? Oh yeah, he was, but he quit. What happened to that girl he was dating? He quit. You know, a fool in their money will surely part, and that's Conor. Dana White knows what he got in front of him. Dana knows I got a complete moron right here who's going to destroy himself. So let me make as much money off this idiot as possible because I'm too stupid to know how to get it myself. I'm a buddy hustler. I hustle people who got money. The Furtadas. Yo, I told my mom, let me go to this school where these rich kids are so I can get close to one of them so I don't have to do any work. I used to carry Floyd Mayweather's bags hoping I get part of the entourage. Then I started doing steroids once I got in the UFC because I was hanging out with Joe Rogan. And we both said, we love this fight game so much, let's start looking like him. I had a big piggy bank to play with, and I ruined the UFC. I said, people want to look at these UFC fighters and think, I want to sleep with them. So I grabbed a slut bag like Paige Van Zandt and got a Baywatch star and Sage Northcutt And I put them together in a promo. Because I'm smart. And I'm going to say, this is the future of the UFC. And I'm going to say how great they are before they even have a real fight. Yep. Because I'm Dana White. The genius UFC guy. Yep, that's me. Oh, sorry, nerve cut lost by knockout. Oh, he stopped again. Paige Van Zandt, oh God. She's getting her brains beat in and bleeding all over the place. This is not in the plan. Oh God. Why didn't I just promote Michelle Waterson? She could fight. Oh, that's right. I don't promote people of color. Forgot about that. That's why Tyron Woodley, I can't promote him. He had one bad fight because he got injured. And I said the guy didn't deserve the championship. Oh, yeah, that was me. I'm an idiot. But I hope you like the ring, girls. I'm sleeping with 3 of them tonight. Welcome to the UFC. My wife left me because I started sleeping with her best friend and her sister. Welcome to the UFC. Oh, man. Now let's switch it up a little bit. Now let's bring the attention full surface. Well, they need to be getting paid a lot. Sleeping with Dana White, they need to be getting paid a fortune. With that weirdo, you don't mind if I put all this Vaseline all over my body and I look like a wrestler, do you? Do I kind of look like Conor a little bit? Sure, Dana. Whatever you say, Dana. How much money? Dana, you got any coke? Yeah, some in that, look at that sugar drawer, my sock drawer, or any other drawers that should be loaded with coke. Welcome to the UFC. Oh, gosh. And then there was a crackdown on the MMA world and the UFC world when they start having all of these wrestlers test positive for performance-enhancing drugs. You see, for a long time, UFC was not on, you couldn't bet UFC fights. And the reason why you couldn't bet UFC fights because they didn't trust that it was legit, that a lot of them were fixing fights and setting them up so before they could be licensed, you know, as far as saying, okay, this is legit, it's not WWE style. They had to go through that process. Well, here's the thing. Nobody liked Dana White. Who likes Dana White? Dana White is he's been a nemesis of anybody who's talking actual MMA. He wants you to sell whatever Dana White is selling that week. I could tell you every lineup that was going to happen. I have predicted every UFC fight, every plan. It is not rocket science. It is the most simplest, dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life. They're going to put Doughboy in a heavyweight fight against John Jones Jr. Why? Because John Jones Jr. has been doing so much coke and ramming it up his nose for so long. He doesn't even know how to make the weight anymore. So he can only fight at heavyweight. And they got to keep making their money off John Jones because people still go watch John Bones Jones. So no matter how many drug suspensions, no matter how many times this guy is, Dana White's going to put him in there and they're going to keep going. Now, he don't like Dana White and just be like, he knows what Dana is. So John Jones don't like him, but Dana needs to make money off you. So he's going to go to Cormier because he knows Cormier can't make a dime unless he's fighting John Jones. But he loves Cormier because he finally beat Stipe, a guy he can't stand. Anybody who knows Dana White is full of his you-know-what, he don't like him. And to be a president of a company or whatever, it's not your job to form personal opinions on people. You have a business to run. This guy was the champion of your division and you weren't promoting him. You're mad because he doesn't like you. Oh. See? Young female drivers driving big cars. Don't understand it. I was waiting for you to go, lady. If you seen my video, you would seen that's not a disrespect of him. That's a wake up and get in the game. And stop swinging your own BS, dog. You had 1 point in a playoff. One shot that wasn't that was a jump shot in an entire series. There's a problem. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal had better numbers than that. And all he did was dunk. I was gonna say that sounded wrong. Dana White proposed to his wife at an elementary school. Oh my God, that just sound wrong. Well, whatever he proposed, he did what he normally do: lie. I promise to love and cherish for the rest of my life. I promise to be an honest. But I want to sleep with your sister and your because I'm Dana White. The reigning UFC president, Viagra taking douchebag. I can't find one person that has a decent thing to say about Dana White. I have talked to MMA fighters around this. They would say, yeah, Dana's Dana. Even those who like him, they'd be like, well, you know, Dana's Dana. Like, yeah, he's a piece of you know what. But it's Dana White. It's morning? Dana White. He's a piece of you know what. I went there to interview Conor McGregor because of the fans of my channel. They probably wanted to hear what he had to say. So I said, well, I won't be biased. I'll go over there and try to get an interview with the guy. I went over there and they turned me away at the door. Heard who I was, knew where I was from, and Dana was, don't let him on the premises. So Dana's fully aware, and he actually referenced my video when I said I was going to destroy the UFC. That was the video he filed a report on. In case you guys didn't know, Dana White reported me one of my videos I did. And I was in a hotel room when I made the video. I was on location. I was in a hotel room and I said, and my Carcinos tries to take down the UFC, to destroy the UFC or something like that. And he didn't watch the video, they just saw the title and said, what? Got mad at the title of the video. And from that point on, I had problems with YouTube and everything else because they didn't do any research into it. They just started it from there. And if you listen to the video, it was me talking about everything I'm basically telling you now about Dana White, how he destroyed the UFC and the whole company. And UFC is not MMA. It's not. I'm destroying that so that we can have actually a real thing. And I think I know it might have been destroying MMA, one of them, because I was like, there's no such thing as mixed martial arts. There's no such thing, which it is. There's no such thing as mixed martial arts. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And any martial arts artist will tell you that is dumb. You either know martial arts or you don't. There is no mixed martial arts. It should be all fighting. So when I said destroy MMA or whatever, that's what I was meaning. And then in the video, it was about the UFC. I'm like, people think UFC and boxing is the same thing. UFC is a company. Boxing is a sport. The sport is called MMA. I don't know why, because there's no real martial arts in it. I'm like, it was called mixed martial arts for a reason. When there were actually different forms of martial artists coming together to see which style of martial arts would win in a tournament. That's what it was called, mixed martial arts. Not because, oh, I studied a little wrestling and I did some kicks on the thing and I could box a little bit. Now that's mixed martial arts. No, stupid. That's some garbage Dana White came up with to make you look stupid. So there is no such thing as mixed martial arts. It's stupid. So when they said it was a mixed martial arts tournament, that's what it meant. Different forms of martial artists coming together to fight in a tournament. To see whose style was gonna win. That's what the Ultimate Fighting Championship was. So I knew what I was saying in the video, and it was 100% accurate. So to a man named Dana, that's what we meant. So I hope you guys have a clear understanding of what I was saying. Because it would be very unfair if you guys didn't understand what we were talking about. You feel me? I don't see anybody saying anything. They might have blocked everybody out by now. No, she has the only fight left. She's got to fight Amanda Nunes. Unless the fight already took place and I missed it. That's the fight. That is the fight. You guys are frozen, or who can see what? Because they're not letting the comments come up. Right, they fight in December. All right, that's what I thought. But that is the fight. So Doughboy Cormier is gonna fight. He's gonna fight against Brock Lesnar, and the winner of the Brock fight, which should be Cormier, he's gonna beat Doughboy's gonna beat Brock, and he's trying to build up Cormier. Then he's Cormier heavyweight against John Jones. John Jones gonna whoop him again because there's nothing Doughboy can do to beat John Jones Jr. This dude, you can't beat him when he coked out. You can't do him when he roided out. You can't do him when he drunk. You can't beat John Jones in no way, shape, or form. He don't like because Willie knows all about the fight game. When you know about the fight game, you are not going along with what Dana wants you to do and not trying to fight how Dana problem is Dana wants to control you. Dana wants to control what you do in the ring, outside of the ring, where you fight, how you fight, and when you fight. Now, it happened, right? He makes weight, and this is the problem the UFC has. Guys not making weight. You got undisciplined fighters who are trying to make weight. They can't take the drugs to make it. UFC was a thing when you just showed up to fight. But since you want to make it like boxing, now you got to deal with the things that happen in a boxing ring. UFC was the place that people go when they couldn't make it at boxing. They was like, man, I want to box, but I suck. I'm going to go do some ultimate fighting because at least I got a chance there. All I got to do is land a punch. And most of these guys can't even do that. They can't fight. So I'm ahead of the game. So that was a place, that was a fallback plan to go to the UFC. I can't do nothing else. Let me try to go to the UFC. So you fall back on UFC. Now, situations have changed. Oh, Greg Hardy be destroyed once he's in a real fight. But that just goes to show you, Greg Hardy, he just got a picture of his ex-wife or girlfriend. He just pictured her face on all these dudes. Huh? You gonna take away my football career? That be Greg. The fight over, it's over. Greg will be going on my career. I don't know not one person you said in that whole fight. I heard of Logan Paul before. That's it. I've never watched the video of Logan Paul, but I've heard the name mentioned because he posted a video and got taken down, and because of that, all hell broke loose. But other than that, I wouldn't know him at all. Man, pray for me. I'm at the good old boys BP gas station. I am not going inside. Ain't gonna be, hey, house. I don't want to go over there and face Duck Dynasty. ain't gonna be there. There he goes. We got one. What you doing in a vehicle like that? He must be one of them athletes or those hippity hop guys. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, please don't play with me tonight. So anyway, I could throw some stuff out on me. Why wait to throw it in my garbage can? I put it in their garbage. Make sure ain't nothing else in here I'm throwing out. Entertainment Weekly. But that's why the UFC struggles, because it's a ripoff of boxing. Dana White just came up with the idea that we're going to take the UFC, which is already existing, it's just not making any money on this scale because of the violence. It still wouldn't have made any money if the Furtadas didn't put money into it. And when Chuck Liddell left and Rampage Jackson left, they had no staying power. And they lost all the revenue that they were making at that time. They were going belly up. And the reason they were going belly up was because of the fact they were trying to go international too fast. They lost millions of dollars trying to promote in London, trying to make Bisbee a big star. So because they decided they wanted to go that route and make Bisbee this big superstar, they were ruining. I might have to come to this gas station more often. I'm saving $20. I might as well take a receipt. I might have hit the wrong gas button, because I'm like, wait a minute, my gas has never looked like this. Now watch my car start throwing up. My car gonna be, I'll be like, what happened? You gave me that, rubbing alcohol. It's hard for a lot of people to get into it because it's not designed for everyone. It has a demographic. This is designed for the punk rock kids who like violence. Let the party on the floor! Let the party on the floor! It's designed for them. You ever been to one of those fights? You ever see the gear? This is for bikers, and this was always designed for them. It wasn't designed for brothers. We just got in it and started rocking, you know, so. It's not rock fans. This is for those of UFC is for the System of a Down type guys. Get some Megadeth in there. You know, where they stick the microphone just down their throat and start talking. Rage! Rage! So most of the time that now, because of the since Dana White wanted to make it more like boxing, he's going to be faced with the issues that boxing face, but he's going to face it at a larger scale. Guys not making weight, right? How many times you've seen a UFC fight and the fight don't happen? It's like, what? The fight don't happen? Yeah, the guy gets hurt right before the training. While he's training, the guy's hurt. See it very often in UFC, right? Because of the physicality of the sport. You can't make everything like boxing. But Dana White is so stupid, he don't even have a replacement fighter ready to go. Then, because now it's a business. You know, these guys got managers, they have teams. Now it's like, why would this guy who's already the #1 contender fight a no-name guy who you just put in the ring, who he hasn't been training for? Why would he fight this guy for less money? He's like, sure, if you're gonna give me, you know, the same amount of money I was gonna get, I'll do that. But why I got everything to risk. I could just skip this guy and go right to the title fight in my next fight. Why would I just take the risk taking this fight? It doesn't make sense. And Dana White's like, look, we need to have this fight on the card. It's too late. I'm turning it down. I can't. So now, house. And that recently happened with a fighter. He got smart on Dana White, and Dana White's like, this mother, he went and got smart on me. He didn't do what Dana White wanted him to do. Him something. Think he's getting a title fight next. Even though he's supposed to get a title fight, Dana White will make sure he doesn't get that title fight. And if he does, Dana White will make sure that the decision don't go his way. Brian money or Q dollars. Why would you want to lose playing me? I'll win. You can't win. All I do is win. And I'm basically at the retirement age of basketball. This is when you walk away from the game. All my dominant years are behind me. I had a great career. Man, I was indestructible on the basketball court. I could do anything I wanted. I could score on anybody. Man. Memories like the corner of my mind. Well, you know, that's what they all say. In actuality, me and Allen Iverson about the same height, to be honest. They list Allen Iverson at like 6'1". Allen Iverson ain't even 6 foot. He's about 5'10". 5'10", 5'11". They probably listed him at 6'1". Like I said, they give a lot of idiots and fools money. Dana White just happened to be one of those fools who made a lot of money because he knew people who made a lot of money. If the Furtadas didn't give him the money, Dana White couldn't get a loan to get a doggone sandwich. He tried to open up a boxing gym and all that stuff. He went bankrupt on all that stuff early on. He went and begged the Furtadas to let him run the UFC, and they was like, well, since you're a good friend of ours, Dana, here you go. There's your project. You know, they got billions. What was them? They bought the UFC for like, what, 2.2 million? They bought the UFC. Then they started making changes to it, and Dana White was there, but they got a hit because of Chuck Liddell. He owes Chuck Liddell money for the rest of his life. Chuck should never have to be in the ring trying to fight. Chuck Liddell made what the Dana White UFC is today. Tito Ortiz, Rampage, Randy Couture, those fighters who were already there. You see what I'm saying? These are guys who used to travel to Japan and fight in Pride. These guys knew what fighting was about. Pancrase. And the Pride people didn't like Dana White because Dana White was stealing from them. He's like, look, you guys are stealing our format on how we run the fight game. Then you want to say you came up with the concept? No, Pride Fighting was already there doing that. They were doing rounds. But they were doing tournament style. Dana didn't want to do tournaments. Dana wanted one fight a night. Everybody's doing one fight. Just make a big fight card. And then he started bringing in cut men and corner men. And I'm like, you basically stole from Pride. That's where they got Rampage from. Everybody wanted to see Rampage when he went to the UFC. The real Rampage was the Rampage you saw when he was in Pride. The key about Rampage is you wasn't going to lay on Rampage for about an hour. Rampage will throw you off him and get up. And that's what black people gravitated about Rampage. The old Rampage, you wasn't just going to lay on him and start keeping him down, and he would just make... He would get up. My boy, he was... didn't like UFC at all. I was the one that got people hooked on UFC. And here, I was the one going to Blockbuster Video getting UFC 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bringing him my boy house. All he did was he smoked weed 24 hours a day. He was smoking before Friday. When Friday came out, that was just him. That was a movie about him. He was smoking. All he did was smoke. And he had a house that was left to him by his dead grandmother. And all he did was move his buddies in so they could pay the rent. And he just stayed at home. He's like, look, it's my house. I'm providing the house. Y'all get to come in. Y'all pay the rent. I'm letting y'all stay here. Y'all all got a room. Y'all just Go ahead and pay rent. He didn't think about no furniture. There was no couch. There was nothing but chairs. The TV didn't have a stand. All it was a TV sitting on and a doggone PlayStation. And people played video games all day and came and hang out at that place. There's no furniture. You gotta lean on the wall to sit on the ground. There was no couch. Somebody brought a futon over one time, so people were sitting all on the futon. And there was hoes that used to come over. Hoes, if there's a place, girls will come. That's just it. Because I'm like, there was no place for the girls to even sit. What? I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, girls there. It was a party over there. There's none. The radio is sitting on the floor. Everything's on the floor. You want to drink, you got to go in the kitchen. That's the only time you could have something standing up there. I remember one girl sitting on the kitchen table, on the little kitchen where the sink at. That was it. There was nothing. So he loved the UFC. When we put the UFC on, he hated Hoyce Gracie. But when Rampage and all them start coming around and he started watching that, and they started, Rampage started throwing people off of him. The match that Hoyce Gracie and UFC 4, I think it was, or UFC 3, I believe it's UFC 3. UFC 3, the one where Hoyce Gracie got hurt after winning the fight. Hoyce got hurt fighting against Chemo. Chemo is like 280 pounds. Hoyce is about 175, 180. Hoyce is doing his usual crawl on top of the guy, and he threw Hoyce off of him and started coming up and punching him, man. All I know, my boy jumped up. He had a beer in one hand, a blunt in his mouth, took it out. Oh my God, that's what I'm talking about. See, I told you could get up. Everybody else just be laying down and letting this guy submit them. Man, just get up. This dude just got up. And that made the whole, because dude was like, man, I don't want to see this guy lay on this guy all day. And Hoyce won that fight, but he was injured. And Hoyce had never lost a fight. Then it was tournament, so he got to fight in the next round. So the next round, he's getting ready to fight this guy. And they came in and threw the towel and just said, nope, he's not going to fight. He's injured. And like that, the person that came out was Chemo. Even though he lost, they came in the ring like they won. They was, yeah, we won, we won. I'm like, dude, y'all didn't win nothing. And back then in the UFC, you could punch somebody in the balls, and it was a legal move. So you go watch, after this video, go watch the UFC fight, Keith Hackney. Keith Hackney wins by punching in the balls. Keith Hackney punched this guy. He's a Kempo martial artist. Punching this guy fully in his balls. That's just disgusting. That was disgusting how the UFC did Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes almost died by getting hit by a train. His truck got hit by a train. And Matt Hughes is just tough. That dude, everything about Matt Hughes is tough. I was a BJ Penn guy, but Matt Hughes is tough. That dude is tough as nails. I mean, he has strong wrists, very strong wrists. So when he get a hold on you, it's hard to break. Oh, I hated GSP. Now, that's one fighter I did not like. I did not like George St. Pierre. Rush! St. Pierre! I was like, this fake Jean-Claude Van Damme wannabe Canadian piece of trash. I hated him. I hate George St. Pierre. Scary fighting bum. He and that ballerina fighting. Dude, if you put yesterday's, like me and this guy had an argument the other day, not argument, discussion. Because we weren't really arguing, we was having a discussion. We had a disagreement. We were in total agreements till we got to a certain point. He was saying, yeah, but those are yesteryear's fighters. Those guys wouldn't last in today's UFC. I'm like, dude, those guys would eat these UFC fighters of today. I'll give you 10 UFC fighters from back then. They will destroy 10 of you. Find the best that you think is the best 10 now. I will take 10 from back then and they will eat this 10 that you picked. There's no way today's UFC. Matt Serra wasn't. Matt Serra was a coach. That's the thing about him. He could teach the game, but I don't know if that one little arm he got holds him back. But Matt Serra he's too small. He's better at coaching. I like the way Matt Serra used to talk, but he's too small. He's not ready. He's not ready for the game. But if you find your 10 best MMA fighters, I will give you 10 guys that will beat and go right through any fighter you got. I will pick them and they will win. And I'll give y'all Chuck. If y'all want to do Chuck Liddell, which side you gonna put Chuck on? Y'all want Chuck? I'll give you Chuck. Okay? You want Chuck? I'll give you Chuck. If y'all want to say Chuck is the Dana White era, I'll take 10 fighters that before Dana White got in there and started screwing it up. I'll pick 10. And I'll take those 10 against the 10 that you guys will pick. So I will have Jerry Bollander. I will definitely take Jerry Bollander on the team. Mark the Hammer Coleman. Go ahead and pick your guys. I would take Hoist Gracie. It's too much material. I have too many fighters that I can go down a list and grab that you wouldn't be able to beat. I haven't even gotten there yet. So where's your 10? I want to hear some names. Tito is really with us, but we'll give you Tito Ortiz. Go ahead. Tito, Chuck, all those guys, they really on our list. But we can go ahead. If you want Tito and Chuck, you can have them. I'll put Don Fry in there against y'all. Y'all wouldn't beat Don Fry. Orlov Tatanka, you wouldn't beat him. Give me some guys. I want some names. Boss Rutan. I ain't even go to Frank Shamrock. The Shamrocks. Ken Shamrock used to be something in the day. Okay, the Spider. Okay, who would I get to take out? Who else? Who would I get to take out the Spider? That's tough. I'll take Ken Shamrock or Hoyce Gracie. They'll take out the Spider. Jerry Bolander would mop the floor with TJ Dillashaw. And I'm a TJ Dillashaw fan. You should wait. I'm going to get MMA Rick on the line, and we're going to run it down. Somebody sent me a text message. It's my brother. Shouts out to my brother Troy. I'm not playing Cooks no more anyway. Well, I had fun, but I gotta roll. I'm out.